Do we have a theme for today?
That's just how you're going to introduce it. We are Croak and Crow.
I don't want to say we are Croak and Crow. I wanted to say this is.
I'm Spencer, and this
do you
is
want to
Croak
say?
and Crow.
Do you want to say your name?
No, I'd rather be anonymous.
That's what I was wondering.
Welcome to Croak and Crow. I'm Spencer.
And I'm Verona.
And we are. So we'll start it again. Hi, welcome to our show. This is Croak and Crow. I'm Spencer.
I'm sitting here next to Spencer. You could say I'm Verona.
You're killing this.
So the difference between us is that you're very structured and you love the stability, the reliability of things. And I am more, let's do it different every time. Let's make people confused.
I think not the first thing, but the second thing. I don't care about making it different every time, but... So, what are we talking about?
Okay, we're going to be talking about everything that has to do with life outside of Earth.
Whoa.
Well, that's not true, right? We are talking about living on Earth as spiritual beings. Maybe they could just watch it and they'll figure out what we're doing.
So you don't want to describe, you don't want to say your background.
Here we go.
No.
Okay. So this is the other thing, and I've always been against the resume introduction.
I like the resume introduction.
I know you do. It's always sort of braggy. And it's always, you're now going to believe me more because I just told you that I was honored here, or I studied here, or someone else told me that I was qualified here. And like the apostles didn't study anywhere. They were actually outcasts in society and called all sorts of crazy names and so forth. And yet that's who we're following. But then when we go out to talk about anything, it's like, well, who are you? Where did you come from? And we need to know.
Jesus got mad at the people who studied more. Those are all the rabbis doing the hypocrisies. They were the ones that were arguing with each other over scholarly topics. He liked the dum-dums.
Right.
Because the dum-dums can learn. The people who think they already know can't learn. Ooh, write that one down.
Notes.
Need a scribe.
What am I writing?
Oh, I was just kidding.
Now, this brings me to, I know that your actual resume, that you were an art student.
Some would say. Others would say a life experiencist.
Okay.
A life exhibitionist.
What I was going to say was...
Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
In art, you can be open-minded. You can think the way you want to think, and you can have ideas and approach things differently and make and create, right? Because that's what we are. We're creators.
Creationists.
No, we're creators. Anyway, but I've heard many times that they say you can't be wild until you've been trained.
That's a Picasso quote. What is it? You have to know something like an art. No, wait, no, okay. You have to know something like an expert. No, I got it. You have to know the rules.
You can tell we prepared.
You have to know the rules like an expert to break them like an artist. I think that was Pablo.
Okay, so what I have to say about that is, or why I brought it up was, is that the same for spirituality? Like, can you go off the track only after you've gotten your theology degree? Learn the Bible and all the other religious texts, and then say, these are my opinions?
Yes and no. The same way art school is not going to make an artist. Reading each line of the Bible isn't going to make you spiritually awakened. But two people that are open to, like, if you have that openness to learn, both in art and in religion, then you can be helped out by the rules. Everyone has raw talent, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it be art or your willingness to learn about religion. Simple structure and rules is not good for an artist or a religious person, but you can use those rules and then grow upon them.
Right. I would say I would be afraid to maybe, would you lose some of your instinctual and some of your own thoughts if you did go to a theology school? Would you?
Yes, and you would also lose some of your creativeness when you go to art school. You start listening to someone else and letting them critique your work. But you also learn. So it's sort of you need to be able to differentiate your advice and different ways to think about something without losing your original creativeness and your own personal view on things.
Okay. So then I am correct in saying that we don't have to say all my words, and you don't have to prove you're allowed to talk about spirituality. You don't have to not prove, but
you don't need to know ancient Latin.
Yeah.
To be able to talk about it in a educational way.
Right.
I'm gonna start teaching art.
You could.
You could?
You could.
All right.
We still don't have a theme for this.
We do. It's temper. And you're really.
I didn't know that was the real theme. I thought that was.
You wrote it down.
I know that was literally like a placeholder.
Okay, well now we can talk about temper because my temper has been rising.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so let's croak and crow about it.
Temper, yeah, it's going up.
Okay, all right. So
temper. One of the 7 deadly sins.
Is it?
It's wrath, and well, I guess that's when you let your temper get the best of you. So. Is temper just what is it? There's 2 things. There is the something and the something.
Oh.
No.
You sure you didn't go to school for this?
All right, keep talking. I'll think about it.
All right. I was accused.
The potential.
Okay.
And the action. So is temper just the potential?
Well, you know what?
Is that what I was
I was taught, which is a really hard teaching, which is a really not hard, strict teaching. Just the thought of a bad thing is bad.
I got taught the opposite.
It's hard. It's hard.
Bernathen, they say it is. They say better he who has temptation and does not act upon them than someone who doesn't have any. If you never had any temptation or anger, like if someone doesn't cut you off, if someone cuts you off in traffic. And it doesn't faze you. You're like, the sun's still shining. Did you really do a good job? No. You just did what your body naturally does. Someone cuts you off, and then you're about to be ready to murder them, and then you breathe and say, calm down, Spencer. I don't know his life. He might be doing that for a reason. It's not my place to get mad. I did a much better job. Who's better? Who's more successful? Someone who has $1 million given from their parents, or someone who earns $1 million from a business they made? Riddle me that, Crow.
Listen, no, I hear you. The reason, not the reason, but this made me remember that yesterday I lost my temper, and I was accused of being unreligious because I lost my temper. And sort of really told that everything I had done up to that point of being religious, of being brotherly love, was fake, because the temper that I expressed proved
Listen, all I gotta say is Jesus had a bit of a temper. It was, always for things that he was against, but did he not flip tables over and throw punches? No, he didn't throw punches, but he flipped tables over
Yeah,
in an anger.
he did. He also lost his temper on the boat. When they woke him up.
Also, when his apostles were talking about the woman who was putting oil on his head, he got a little bit of a temper. I think that was
Now, you might say that he had good reason. Now, so there must be limits to this temper where he flipped the tables because they were gambling in his house. Can you lose your temper? You talked about road rage. Can you lose your temper just because someone's not understanding what you're saying? So when is it justified? When is it sinful? Is temper sinful?
I think.
Or is it human? Is it earthly?
Yeah, I think you should control it, but especially when someone, you don't want to get stepped all over. It's good to have a temper, but it should be the last. It should be something that you're working past. I think it's more earthly than anything. Does the Pope have much of a temper? If someone cut the Pope mobile off in traffic, would he get mad?
And he fell off the top.
Probably not.
Well, I don't know, because you can talk about temper in a psychological way where you say the temper's not bad, but your lack of control in the situation is bad.
Yes.
So that's separate from something that's spiritual, right? There's two, psychologically, they'll say you're losing control. You lost control if your temper came out, but spiritually, do you always have to be calm to be able to claim that you're spiritual or that you're loving or that you're peaceful?
I don't think you always have to be, but I think it's it's always just striving to do better. And yeah, I don't think you should ever think one day I'm not going to have a temper anymore. It's, hopefully I don't let my temper get the best of me. Hopefully I don't, when I get mad in traffic, I don't cut the guy off and get out and get ready to fight him.
Yeah.
So I think the goal isn't to say I want to lose these human emotions. It's I want to act upon these human emotions in a way that's more spiritual, which is, forgiveness.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that temper is acceptable. It's not ideal, but it's acceptable. Am I close? It's acceptable the length of time, right? Because temper, I feel like a short burst of temper can be forgiven.
Yeah.
But to continue, I think once you continue it, it's not even, I think you're choosing it at that point.
Yeah, well, because if you think about it, even the times Jesus did have a temper, it wasn't long term. It got the point across, and then that was it. When he flipped the table over, he didn't, then go around and start punching rabbis in the face and kicking chickens. It was like, whoa, he just flipped the table over. Look at that. The point was made. You knew how he felt about the situation. And then he didn't, let it take a hold of him.
Okay, so when people say things like this about Jesus, somebody will say, well, I'm not Jesus, or you're not Jesus. But we are human. He was human at that time.
He was.
So, we can compare ourselves to Jesus.
Yeah. And that's why they say, what would Jesus do? It's not what would God do. Because we can't comprehend.
Right.
We have to comprehend some things on an earthly, human scale.
Well, you could say that it's very Old Testament for God to have a temper.
Yeah, he got frustrated once or twice.
Yeah.
But it was always out of love. A little bit.
Yeah. I was just thinking of the Great Flood, and I was thinking, oh, he loved the people in the ark. Well, I would guess I should ask you if you believe in the Great Flood.
Well, I don't know. Like, I want to say there's so many things in the Bible, like, because I think Moses was real, right? Right?
Right? Tell me.
And Moses was related to Noah, right?
I don't know.
Because the lineage goes straight down. I remember, like, that's a cool thing when you read the Bible all the way. It's not like, and then we jump. It's like they give names, connecting David to Jesus and Adam to Moses. So, and Noah, what are the two brothers? Phil and Lil. And so, Cain and Abel. So, that's why I get tough. But I think whether he was real or not, it was written in such a way to be taken as a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really matter if you argue on did it happen or not. It's okay, whether it happened or not, what's the metaphor behind it? Because either it happened and now it acts as a metaphor, or it only ever was a metaphor. That's splitting hairs at that point. So what's a metaphor?
Washing dishes.
Clean the world.
What's a metaphor? I was trying to think of a joke there that would be, what's a metaphor?
A meta?
I know. There was something there. FOR, metaphor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, so what's meta?
I don't know. That's the part where I didn't have the joke. Okay.
My temper went up there a little bit.
My temper. Meta. My temper. What's your metaphor? Listen, we have to take a break for our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, today we're sponsored by God. God is a great partner of ours. He's, it's just a really easy company to get behind, and so he just came out with a new service that's called Prayer. So Prayer is a service that essentially you can use whenever, wherever, on your smartphone or just in your head. And it gives you a direct line to God to ask for forgiveness, ask for things you want in the future, help out in your relationships and your work life, and basically anything. It just is an open line of communication. So today, if you sign up for Prayer and you use the promo code Spencer sent me, then you will receive 10% off on your next prayer. So subscribe to God.
So before we went to break, you were saying how if you believed in Noah's Ark and if you believe in any of the picture stories from the Bible, that's important for us to bring that up on our first episode, because we are going to be talking about reading something verbatim, following it to the letter.
Doesn't matter.
None
of it matters.
In this world, in this podcast.
Anywhere, in any world, in any podcast.
Well, right. We're spreading the word that it's not about. I don't want to say it's not about the word, because I consider the word to be the word of God. So it's not about the specific instructions.
Yeah. You don't. It's not about cross-examining every sentence. It's about finding the overarching theme of how to live your life, and you're gonna end up living a not so great life if you dwell on two sentences and argue with someone who says that those two sentences are something different. When if you just look at 4 sentences put together, you'll realize, oh, that's all that meant.
Right.
That's how I live a better life.
Right. So we are not going to translate exact wording or tell you or tell ourselves that we go by, and I don't think anybody should. In any language, in any religion, in anything, and don't be afraid to get an interpretation Don't be afraid to be inspired. And it's fine.
Okay.
Okay? So, I don't know, an hour to... The other thing is we haven't prepared. Well, we can't have her hitting the microphone.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, fine. She'll be here.
We can't... we haven't prepared today. Well, I don't know if we'll ever prepare.
Yeah.
I see a lot of preachers and priests and everybody, they prepare all week. Just like Saturday Night Live, they practice and prepare all week for that show on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, priests do it for their weekend speeching, whatever it's called. We don't do that.
Off the cuff.
But I mean, we should have something in our basket in case it's just the Sahara Desert over here. And we're like, I don't know. The only, like I said, I didn't know we were going to talk about temper, but brought it up because I literally was accused of losing my temper.
Well, my spiritual tool to help with my temper is this piece of shit right here. I can bleep that out.
Yeah, but we demonetized.
Yeah. But every day she tests my patience and my temper. Every morning when she cries for food. It's 4 a.m. I'm not getting out of bed. It just is a nice daily reminder that I have a temper. Not so much that I work on my temper, but just that I have one.
So you're not a Francis of Assisi?
I don't know what he did.
You don't know what he did? It's a Catholic saint, but he's known by mostly everybody. Every time you see a statue of a monk with animals, so he'll have birds on his shoulders and he'll have cats and deer and foxes all around him. And so he's like the patron saint of animals, and I'm not exactly sure of the story, but he is definitely connected to animals. I think he communicated with them and loved them tenderly, and he had this. So I always said Saint Francis of Assisi. People say Assisi. My Aunt Frances loved him and had his statues everywhere, and
just because her name was Francis.
And she also loved animals. Do you know how to spell the boy Francis?
Francis.
Girl?
Francis.
Are you saying I-N? Francis?
No. A-N.
The girl is E-S. The boy is... I wonder if are the Franciscan monks after St. Francis? Probably. And that's the good thing here. We're all going to learn together.
We don't know anything.
No, we know. Just like mostly everybody, we know so much, but thankfully for Google and internet,
we know what really matters.
No, I'm saying you can. Okay, so I know about St. Francis. I know that you know the Franciscan monks, and you never heard of the Franciscan monks. The Franciscan monks.
You can keep saying it. You can say it 4 more times.
Okay. The Franciscan monks, they are the classic monks that you see. They have the bald spot up here. And they
like the orange?
The cloak. No, that's a Buddhist monk.
That's what all monks I know. Oh, like the ones
Christian.
With the ones with the bowl cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Franciscan order. And there's also the Capuchin monks. I think that's where cappuccino came from.
From the monks?
Yeah. Did you know beer came from the monks too?
Beer came from the Egyptians.
Well, what I don't mean come from. I mean like, and the pretzels.
That came from the Germans.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying a lot of things with no really,
basis.
Yeah, but
we
no. Listen,
we need a
monks had to make money, and I know that they used to make beer and sell it. The pretzel, which is supposed to be the shape of a pretzel, is something about prayer hands, and the monks used to make the pretzels.
I thought it was the nuns.
Maybe. Whatever. But anyway, I don't know why the Franciscan monks I was thinking about. Just monks in general.
You started just by saying you know things, you don't know things. No, before that is when the monks came out.
Just St. Francis, because you had the cat.
Yeah.
I guess.
You said, is that where they came from St. Francis? Franciscan monks.
Franciscan. Yeah. Well, we don't know. We could find it out. I guess they wouldn't have a podcast.
You'd be surprised.
But I thought they were quiet.
Now, like you see everyone with podcasts now. Like
really,
you get like the real deal Buddhist monks and stuff doing them, and the
but
Indian gurus.
Monks are supposed to be vow of silence.
Well, that's just not every monk.
No, it's not. Not every monk. I don't know a lot about monks. Anyway, they probably don't lose their tempers.
No, they probably don't. But that's because they don't allow them. They probably have a temper, but they don't allow themselves to. And the longer you don't allow yourself to do something, the less inclined, even for it to happen.
Yeah,
it happens.
But also, is it fair? They're not living the life we're living. You know, I saw the Dalai Lama talking about life, thinking, being peaceful and loving, and exercising, and everything. And then I just thought, well, he has somebody who prepares his food, drives him, is his social planner. I'm not taking anything away from the Dalai Lama.
Sounds like you are.
Okay. I could say
the Dalai Lama's life so easy.
I could say it about the Pope.
Anyone could be a Dalai Lama if you gave him
I'm just saying a monk's life would have less reasons for him to lose his temper.
Yeah.
There still could be.
But
it's hard to live with people.
If I had to live a monk's life, I probably would have temper 24 hours of the day.
Yeah.
But it's part of the life. I don't know if it's easier, but it's part of the life is to not get into things that would cause a normal person to have a temper.
Right.
Would cause you to have a temper.
Now, actually, I think the word temper. I think the word temper is like the word diet, where you can have a good temper. Oh, that person is of good temperament, and bad temper. And we just left it as, if you say temper, if you say diet, you feel the person's restricting, right? If you say temper, you think the person has a bad temper. But I could be wrong. Like I said earlier, everything I say needs to be fact checked.
Or not.
Or
just
not.
Don't fact check anything you hear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let that be what we do here.
That's what happens nowadays. You just
It's true.
You say it as truth.
True here.
It's someone's truth.
It's true. So, temper. We just accept that the word means you've lost.
So I have
your good temper.
I have a really good temper.
Yeah, it's hard now that the word is tainted.
I have a good temperament. Yeah, I guess if you just use a full word. Well, yeah, so good to know. Temper is bad, and you'll go to hell if you have one.
I don't believe there's hell. End it.
Thanks for coming, guys. It's been great. No, Bernathan doesn't believe in... Oh, no, let me rephrase.
First of all, it's the second time you said Bernathan.
Hey, guys. My name's Spencer, and I'm the Croak and Crow. I went to Bernathan College of the New Church as my college.
You can say the New Church, but when you say Bernathan, you're calling out a city.
Okay, let me rephrase. I'm just gonna try the whole thing again. Hey guys, I'm Spencer, and this is
Croak.
Not
Coach.
This is Croak and Crow. We are both from the Philadelphia area.
I wasn't gonna say that, but okay, that's fine. It's fine.
If you want my full address. And so we live right outside of the northeast section of Philadelphia now. And 5 minutes from where we live is this small town called Bernathan. It is a town that was built in 1800s by a very wealthy set of families. They built these big Gothic style cathedrals, and they all follow this religion of the new church, the new church? The Church of the New Jerusalem, which basically is just a form of like progressive Christianity based on the writings of a man called Emanuel Swedenborg. Emanuel Swedenborg is a guy from Sweden, scientist, smart, scholarly fellow, became a theologian, got really into the Bible. He had visions of things in the afterlife, wrote all of these down. So now they follow these books. The easiest way to describe him would be like sort of like a prophet. You know, that's a big word. That's just the easiest way to describe it. But so I've been immersed over there for years now. So a lot of my knowledge and stuff will be giving out points that the new church believes in.
Right. But it's your take on it.
It's my take on it. It's my take on it.
It's how it affected you. Like, you're not...
No. So, if Bernathen taught me anything, it's that...
So, from now on, every time you say Bernathen, you actually mean the church in Bernathen. Because there's only one church in Bernathen, and there's only one Bernathen, because it's a word they made up.
If I just say the new church, then it's just not...
I know. No, you can say it. I'm just saying, footnote, down below, is that when he says Bernathen, he means the new church of Jerusalem.
Yes, I mean the new church of the Jerusalem.
And what were we even saying?
Hell.
Rewind.
But no, I need to finish. I need to finish. So, because I don't want it to come across like, so everything you hear from me is going to be...
No! I'm saying every time you every time you talk, he has a Catholic background. He's read the Quran. He's affected by just naturalism, everything.
So now we're giving off the rap sheet again. I thought we didn't have to do that.
But what?
That's what you were. So you were against.
Cut this out.
I'm leaving it.
Cut it out.
No, you cut it out.
No, edit this. If I knew how to edit, listen.
All right. Well, now that you gave me my rap sheet, I have to now explain.
But what I'm saying, I'm not saying everything you say will always be referring to the new church. I'm saying every time you say Bernathen.
Okay, you're right. Because I'm talking to you, and you know what I mean. So,
and now they'll know.
Yeah, now they'll know. Okay.
Unless we cut it out. Bring back the cat.
Yeah, so I maybe I don't even have to bring religion into it, right? I don't need to bring any specific church. If I'm saying something that Emanuel Swedenborg wrote about, I'll say Emanuel Swedenborg has an idea, and that way
you have no responsibility.
That way we're just bringing people in. This human being had this thought that I like.
Right.
This human being had this thought that I like.
Right.
So we don't have to, be committed to.
Right.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Now come see me on Sunday at Bernard's Church of the Foggy Tree.
And we don't really want any... Guess what? It doesn't matter if people give us backlash or whatever. If
people give us backlash, they can talk to me in Bernathen.
I know.
You know where to find me now.
We're not in Bernathen. That was such a funny joke.
You know where to find me.
No, I'm saying that we're not saying that our thoughts are from Swedenborg, or our thoughts are from the Franciscan monks, or our thoughts are from...
We're just thinking. We're picking things. Like,
it's Croak and Crow.
Oh, yeah. This people thinks this. This people thinks that. You think whatever...
They can reference us.
You think whatever you want to think.
They can reference us,
Doesn't matter. No one's right.
Yeah, well...
Someone has to be.
We are.
Oh. But...
You're just saying where that seed came from. You could be a seed from something. You grow up way different than the parent plant. Like,
not really. An acorn's going to plant a peach tree.
Well, if it's grafted onto a peach tree, it'll be different. Just think of it as a bunch of grafts. Okay, so he quit. Now it can either just be Croak or Crow. You can vote below. I don't know.
Below where?
It'll be on YouTube as well. You can see it on YouTube. You can see us on Instagram. Instagram Croak.
See, this is why in the beginning I was like, maybe we should introduce what we're about,
right?
Because now we've name dropped like different things.
I know.
But what are we even doing here?
Turn the table over. Listen.
We should put this in the beginning. No, you know what? You just hush. I will explain.
Okay, that's because this is the maiden voyage of course. We're like, where are we going? Whoops, we're heading towards the rocks. Oh no, we've turned ourselves around. We'll fix it.
Okay, well, let me
We'll
just...
learn.
I'm going to fix it right here.
Editing's going to be so fun.
Oh, yeah?
That's the best part.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I'm the one doing it. All right, now let me explain. What time are we in?
Yeah,
45 minutes, and now I'm going to explain...
We have 4 minutes.
Okay, now I'm going to explain what we're doing. Good, we'll end it on this.
Okay.
Thank you. Welcome to our day of temper. That's what the word of the day.
Yeah?
Okay.
How many minutes?
3. There's the Bill Burr Philadelphia thing.
Yeah.
I got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. We're both just two people navigating our way through life, trying to figure out what it all means. Okay. She was raised Catholic, Irish Catholic in Philadelphia, typical, boring. You know, she raised me the same way. Grew up, got all my sacraments in the Catholic Church. Then I went over to Bernathen, learned about Swedenborg, and I learned about all these new ideas. And after that, I got tired. I got tired of always listening to people tell me.
We got baptized over there.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Well, I don't want you to pigeonhole me as being Catholic.
She's a Catholic, and I'm
a liberal Catholic.
So after being over in Bernathen for a few years, learning about Emanuel Swedenborg for a few years, I just sort of got tired about having someone else talk to me about a book that I didn't read, and so I just had to take whatever they said as the truth. And so then I got over it, and so I read the whole Bible. I read it from cover to cover, not looking to be saved by reading the word or anything. I was like, I just want to learn. I want to know. I want to know what it's about. And so that's what I did. After I was like, whoa, that was a lot different than a lot of the things I've been hearing about it. And I was like becoming like, wait, hold on. Like, and so some of these very intense churches didn't make sense to me. I'm like, do they even read the Bible? It's a lot. Like, the overarching themes are different. So now I'm reading the Quran, and I'm like, just once again, I'm not Muslim, but I just want to. Well, I'm not gonna, instead of reading Twilight, I'm just reading books that people live and die by. And so once again, I'm learning the Quran is not at all what I've heard about it. It's actually a lot more similar to the Bible than a lot of people put on. Turns out Allah and our God are the same person. Never knew that one. So basically, right now, all I am doing is expanding my learning and realizing that there's a lot more overarching themes that bring everything together than a lot of churches want to admit, because it's more division. So that's where we are. We're just learning. We're not, there's no strings attached. You don't got to do this to go to this place in the afterlife or do this. We're just living our life and trying to live it in the best way possible. Any final thoughts?
We're sharing.
Sharing what?
We're sharing our thoughts. We're sharing our...
Who?
Me and you. And with them.
Oh, yeah. So that's what we're doing. We would be having this conversation if it wasn't via podcast. But we feel like there's a lot more people with this new think for yourself approach nowadays. And so we're opening up the conversation. Bada bing, bada boom. You got yourself a podcast.
And that's it.
Gabble and ghoul.
That's the clapper. You can't talk after the clapper.
Oh. Alright guys, like, subscribe, and share.